Hi, welcome to today's Facebook Live. My name is Elke Feuer, and I am an author and the founder of K Writers, and I help writers reach their writing dreams by providing them with easy to implement strategies. Today's topic is 7 killer questions to ask to find your ideal story. But before I get started, I'd love for you to tell me in the comments why you started writing. I'm always fascinated by writers' stories and the beginning of their journeys. So, there are many ways to find new story ideas, but one that often gets forgotten about is asking questions. It's just a really simple exercise that you can do. As I mentioned in some of my previous Facebook Lives, my previous videos, I am creating one content each month, and February's topic is idea generation, and that's why the last few have been all about idea generation, because it's really the bread and butter of authors' new story ideas. So like I said, asking questions is one way that often gets forgotten. It's all about places, sources, and asking questions is just one simple way that you can do that. And here are 7 that you can consider. The first one is, what message, so I'm just going to move the camera here. What message, I'm still playing with the light as you can see because I can't put it on me because of the reflection on my glasses, unfortunately. So I'm still trying to find the perfect way to align my lighting, so bear with me here. Okay, so the first question you can ask yourself is, what message do I want to share? Is there a topic that perhaps you want to shine light on that's important to you, and that you want to make people aware of? This message can be, topics that are close to your heart, that you're passionate about, or that reflect your goals and values, whether they're personal or professional. The second one is, what story would I write if publishing was guaranteed? Now, I know as writers, we often, we want to create a story, especially if you're going the traditional route. You want to write a story that, has a higher chance of getting published. But what if that scenario was off the table? What if you were guaranteed that your book would get published? How would that change what you write? Number 3, will my story ideas be relevant in 5, 10, or 15 years? A story idea might seem good right now, but will it hold up when the time passes? If your story is fictional, this might not matter, but sometimes asking yourself that question can make you think about, will help you rethink your story ideas and how you plan to tell them. Number 4, what stories would my teenage self write? I think this is a great one. Are you being true to your young writer within you? While, you always want to grow and change as a writer, sometimes, especially if you're older and you're still thinking about, topics or genre that's for a younger generation, you may be thinking, well, that's not really appropriate for me to write because, I'm no longer young. But, there's a lot of older people that write for young adults, and if this is something that's important to you, you should be true to yourself and not let that stop you from telling the stories that you wanted to tell when you were younger. Number 5, what author would I co-author with and why? Now, not all writers are interested in co-writing, but, for those who have probably, reached out to James Patterson or who've had the opportunity to co-write with other authors that catapulted their careers, this is a really good question to ask yourself. If you could choose an author that you could co-author with, who would it be? And the next important reason is why. Is it the genre, the topics or themes maybe within their stories that they cover? These answers might uncover something new about yourself as a writer and perhaps help with generating new story ideas, which is what it's all about. Number 6, what stories would you self-publish if money was no object? I think this is a great one because let's face it, a lot of authors, especially these days, it's really hard to get your foot into the traditional publishing door. And, self-publishing is a great opportunity, but it's also can be an expensive and risky one as well, too. It's not cheap. There's a lot of things to take into consideration. But what if that was off the table? What story ideas would you write? I think that that's a great one because oftentimes we tend to gear our stories, not all writers, towards, is this something a publisher would want? But what if that was off the table? Or what stories would you write? Number 7, and last but certainly not least, what story ideas have others asked you to write when they found out you're a writer? I think probably most writers have run into a person at one point in time when they told them that, hey, I'm a writer, I write books, and they're like, oh yeah, I've got this great story idea, and you could write it for me, we could share the profits, right? Now, I haven't exactly had that exact experience, but I've had similar ones. And while, the ideas that they had might not be along the lines of, ones that you're interested in or that really fit with you, you could maybe say, how could you tweak them and make them yours? And use that experience to, create a story and their ideas to create your own unique story. So there you have it. 7 questions or killer questions to ask yourself and generate new story ideas. If you enjoyed this content and you'd like more help with idea generation, I've created a really great new resource called the Idea Generator Workbook. And this workbook really, it's designed to help you uncover what you write and how to choose which ideas are best. Because sometimes it's not just about creating the idea, but how do you choose, especially if you've got a lot of ideas? And this workbook has exercises that you can do in order to help you choose. If you'd love to download this resources, I'd love to have you get your hands on it. And you can find it at bit.ly/ideawbook. I'll also put it in the comments as well too, so that you can just click on the link and get it really quickly. If you've been watching some of these videos and you've been enjoying the content that I've been sharing, I want to invite you to join the K-Writers Writing Group. It's just an online, very small community. I think there's just about 250 writers in the group. There's a range of different writers. We've got young, old, we've got some that are just starting out, we've got some that have, are multi-published and who write in different genres. It's just a really great supporting community of people. And I'm always sharing, encouragement, inspiration, more writing tips, more resources. So if you're looking for a community of writers that you would like to connect with, I really want to invite you to join the K-Writers Writing Group. If you put K-Writers Writing Group in the search in Facebook, it'll come up. Just click on join and then answer the questions, and then I'll be happy to add you to the group. All right, thank you so much for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you next week, same time, same place. Have a fantastic weekend. Bye.